Rory MacLeod had cut himself off entirely. The city of London's constant hum had driven him to the brink of paranoia. He was certain he was being monitored, his every move tracked. His escape was a solitary, crumbling stone bothy deep in the Scottish Highlands, miles from the nearest road or reliable mobile signal. 2 days into his retreat, the silence was both a blessing and a curse. He spent his afternoons fishing on the shores of Loch Gair, a deep, black body of water whose surface seldom rippled. Theme 1. Water/fishing horror. As dusk settled, a sound broke the silence. It wasn't the wind. It was a faint, watery sobbing rising from the middle of the loch. A sound so wet and miserable it felt wrong. Rory squinted, convincing himself it was the loch's natural echo. He quickly reeled in his line. The heavy drag on his rod was not a fish. It was a mass of cold, rotting seaweed and old fishing net. A grim trophy hauled from the depths. He fled back to the bothy. Chapter 2. The bothy's audience. Rory bolted the heavy wooden door of the bothy. The thick stone walls offered little comfort against the deep Highland cold. Theme 3. Isolation/the bothy. He was sipping whiskey when the first knock came. A loud, decisive thump on the door. It was impossible. There was nobody for miles. Rory froze, whispering, "Who's there?" The reply was a sound he recognized instantly. A wet, rasping cough followed by an aggressive scratch against the wood. Peeking through a crack, he saw a dark, glistening trail of loch water and mud leading away from the door and towards the darkness. Then the true horror began. He felt the familiar dread of being watched, but this time it was physical. Heavy, sodden footsteps began to pound slowly and methodically across the roof slates, making the weak timbers groan. The sound was too heavy for a person. It was a massive, waterlogged weight dragging itself above him. The footsteps stopped directly over the hearth. Rory's candle flame dipped violently as a deep, chilling plume of cold, salty air descended the chimney. Chapter 3. The final betrayal. Panicked, Rory scrambled to the tiny, cramped bathroom and pulled out his old London mobile. He needed proof he wasn't mad. Desperate, he tried calling his sister, Chloe, the only person who knew his approximate location. To his shock, the call connected. "Chloe, thank God," Rory stammered, his voice choked with fear. "There's something here, on the roof. It's heavy. It knows me. I wasn't just paranoid." Chloe's voice was unnervingly calm and cold. "It does know you, Rory." Rory's heart hammered against his ribs. "What are you saying? Did you tell someone?" The convergence. Chloe's voice finally broke, filled with resentment. "You abandoned me, Rory. You walked away from everything and hid in that lonely hole. You hated being watched, didn't you?" She paused, and Rory could hear the sickening crunch of the wet weight shifting right above him. The creature from the loch, the drowned companion. Chloe's final words were barely a whisper. "I told him where to find the angriest, loneliest man in Scotland. He's not leaving you." The line went dead. Simultaneously, the bothy roof gave way with a sickening crack, and the last thing Rory heard was a terrifying splash as the black, waterlogged mass dropped into the room with him.